5's Chad Petrie has the story.
When you get a fast food meal, no one expects to be called a little ugly dude.
MICAH Beats activated.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go. Just another day on the couch, talking about all the problems of today. Welcome back to another episode of Just Therapy. It is another beautiful Monday evening, y'all. Woo! I can't even woo. This voice is cracking like a motherfucker. But you already know what it is. It's another beautiful Monday evening, and I am your host, but I am joined by my sis, the co-host with the most, is Miss BBC. What up, sis?
Greetings, family. How are you guys? Hey, bro, how you doing?
You know, being blessed, loving life, same old.
Hey, baby girl.
You saying hi?
Hi.
Get off of
Cookies. Cookies.
All right, get off. I mean, no. Okay. All right, you already know what it is. It's another beautiful Monday evening. It was a nice, beautiful day. Now it's a little chilly outside, so we hope your work Monday wasn't too bad, but we are here to end your work Monday off on the couch with a little bit of therapy. So you already know what it is. Make sure you check out last week's episode. That definitely was fun and funny.
Very, very funny, very entertaining.
Oh my gosh, it was some funny stuff we talked about. It was some good stuff. And you already know we got another live show for you. So listen, excuse my voice. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on this weekend. We'll talk about it in the recap.
Oh, really? You got some stuff going on?
It was definitely all fun, but it definitely, I mean, it was, you know, there's a bunch of talking. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But first, you gotta make sure we introduce our guest.
Oh yeah, you already know what it is. We got another live show for you this weekend. This dude was on the hotline talking a whole bunch of shit, and y'all should have heard it. I had to walk away from the computer. But this is a comedian brother of mine. I met him about a little while ago. Another comedian friend of mine. Give it up. Make some noise for the funny LJ White.
LJ.
You really just...
Am I in?
Yeah, but your camera
Yeah, turn the camera on.
It's not giving me an option. But let me try to get it on here.
Why you switch? Oh, there. Nope,
there we go. Start cam. I don't know what this must be. It is not letting me in. So let's go ahead and I don't know what the heck is going on here, but it's not letting me into my cam.
What made you switch?
This thing switched.
Oh,
I don't know why I did that.
Okay. Well, we had seen you before when you was using the phone. I don't know what you switched to, but all right, I'll take this one out and bring you back in. There we go. All right, there we go. There we go. Now we can see him. What up with you, Mr. White? How you feeling?
What's going on, Mr. Boyd? What's going on, Miss BBC? How y'all doing?
Greetings. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored every day. You know, it just be like that sometimes. I woke up this morning.
There you go. That's always a blessing.
That's
I got some
always a
couches.
blessing.
I got some couches in the building. Danita, what up, sis? Nick Jabor in the building. That's my favorite saying nigga in the building. And Katie J. Wolf. What's up? Hey, I ain't seen her in a minute. How you doing? Good to see y'all. Chimed in early. Appreciate
Greetings,
it.
Couchers.
Yeah. Well,
Y'all
without
see,
further
Couchers,
ado-
I'm on here with two comedians, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but they're both pretty extra. So make sure y'all be like, taking up for me, because it's two guys against my liquor oil self and two comedians against me. We never know what's gonna happen. So make sure y'all have my back, okay?
sis, you know I don't be messing with you. Don't start that.
Really?
I don't be messing with you.
Not that
It's
bad.
always nothing but positive vibes, sis. You know how we roll.
Oh yeah.
I used to tease you before, but I don't do that no more. Don't do that.
No, it's been probably like 3 times only.
Out of so many episodes.
My mama always told me keep my hands to myself, so I'm over here with the gloves off.
So if you keep your hands to yourself, how do you? Another story. Anyway,
All
I
right,
like hands, but that's to each and everybody else.
let's get right into it. Let's figure out what's going on with Mr. LJ White. What's going on, brother? I see you're a comedian. How long? So let's start with how long have you been doing stand-up comedy, brother?
Actually going on 14 years. Actually it's been 2011, so it's really been 13. But yeah, it's been about 13 going on 14, you know what I'm saying? Been doing this for a minute. And doing it, I've learned a lot of stuff, man. I've learned the ins and outs of the stage, comedy dynamics. But then I grew a nice, beautiful love for the behind the scenes things, like production and writing and things of that nature. The stuff that people don't really know goes into this game. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. That's what's up. So you say that going on 14 years, what made you actually jump on the stage and want to be a comedian?
Well, I mean, I didn't want to be a comedian. I just was a comedian. You know what I'm saying? I get that from my mom, my dad, and my sister. They was always clowns and joking. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad, actually, they old school. So, when they got off work, second shift, you know what I'm saying? They would come home. My mom would cook, a big meal. My dad would break out the barrel of wine and the corn whiskey. And they said, turn to a juke joint. My mama was entrepreneur, so they would make money and all kinds of stuff. They had people come in and sing and whatnot. And then they'd be sitting there cracking jokes and telling jokes. So you know how the little kids always be. We sitting on the step trying to listen. Boy, get your ass on up them steps. We trying to listen to the jokes. And then I go back to school the next day and tell them to my homies at school, you know what I'm saying? So I was always the clown. But what made me actually jump on the stage is it was just some cat came, he was here in Lima and really stuff wasn't going on like that. And somebody was telling me, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say his name because, he don't need that recognition. But he was like, yeah, such and such got a comedy show coming. I was like, for real? I bet it ain't funny like me. It was like, for real, you do comedy? Like, nah, I ain't did it yet, but you know what I'm saying? So he came in and I was like, man, you really got a show going on? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I bet you I could kill it. He was like, all right, well, you on the show? I was like, for real? Nah, at that point, I hadn't done it professionally. I was like, I got to get myself together. I done talked some shit.
Right.
I got myself caught up in some shit. Got on stage and killed it. And just been rocking ever since. Now I'm going to admit that I don't kill every stage. I haven't killed every stage, but that's just the growth that we go through as comedians. We find out that some audiences wasn't digging what we was doing, so now we got to go back and revamp.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's how I got started.
Okay.
So you're saying, I'm sorry, your first, to kill your first set, very first, never having been on stage before, and never having actually done stand up for a crowd, and you killed their first set, that had to feel amazing, because not every comedian always say they shit the bed their first time.
It did. It felt great. I mean, and just to get up there and just do it knowing in your mind you could do it and then getting up there and confirming that you could, yeah, it did feel amazing. But I feel like for me it was a setback rather than something I should have been applauding. I just didn't know at the time because I did get up there and kill. I killed my second show. I killed my third show. And I was killing a bunch of shows till somebody asked me to do a private show. And you got to understand, they put me up against some old black women, and I didn't really know comedy like I should have, and I was saying some stuff I probably wouldn't have said had I known what I was doing. And man, them people, I've never been booed. To this day, I've never been booed. I will say that, but I have been silenced. You know that silence where they just sitting there like, or I've been table talked. I've been that.
I've experienced that myself.
And one time somebody was like, "Who in the hell is LJ White?" And I was like, "What?" And having no experience, not knowing how to roast or anything, any of the comedy dynamics, I should have brick on that show, man, and it hurt my soul, man. That one of the shows that you had to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm gonna kill it. Every time I see an older crowd, like older than me crowd,
right?
And I get shook, like. Like, oh man. I mean, at the time when I started then, they was my age. So it wasn't that much older than me. Now, every time I see even an older crowd, I'm 50. If they 70, I get shook. But I go in there and I kill it. I feel like I'm redeemed, but I just don't feel like I won that one fight that I didn't get my lick back, you know?
Right. Right. So have you ever been heckled?
Yes, I have. Every morning I get up, my wife heckled the hell out of me. Have I been heckled? Yeah, I have been heckled. I've been heckled once, but people quickly learn not to heckle me. I'm not that guy because I will roast. Like my dude Hayward say, I roast the bumps off your back. I will. I fire you up. I got a saying, and I feel like this is a saying that every comedian should understand. You either gonna watch the show or you gonna be the show. You know what I'm saying? You can watch the show or you can become the show, and I don't think that's what you want because I'm gonna get on you, and that's one of the things, man. I seen somebody saying something about they don't like roast comedians and stuff like that, but I feel like you need to learn everything. That's why I was saying I didn't know all the dynamics of comedy. I feel like you need to learn crowd work. People get crowd work hell, but I think you need to learn it. I think you need to learn how to roast because roasting is kind of like the next one I'm gonna say that you should learn, which is improv. You know what I'm saying? Roasting helps you build up your improv because it helps you learn on the fly. Like I gotta say something back to this person right now because in a roast battle, if you don't come back real quick, you got 3 seconds. If you don't hit that mug in them 3 seconds, you lost the roast battle. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to come quick. And the same thing with the hecklers or somebody that's just talking shit or somebody drunk. You got to be able to shut them down. If you don't shut them down, they'll shut you down. And that's not good when you up on that stage because you're supposed to be controlling that mic. That's why it's MC, mic controller. You up there controlling the crowd.
No, absolutely. But you got to know what you're saying and what you're doing and where to do it too. I was in Atlanta doing some shows and this cat got up there and started talking about this chick at a table. And she didn't even say nothing at first. Or was it the other way around? No, she said something to him and he could not come back at all. And then she said something again and he just froze because he didn't know what to say. And then the MC got up there and ripped her a new behind where she wished she never said anything. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to be quick on your feet or you will become the show. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So I see a lot of comedians now that are doing more interaction with the crowd, like asking questions or having people write stuff down on paper, and then they like somebody will collect all the paperwork and then they'll call out like, a few of them, like my husband asked me to, have a threesome, but I've never thought about it or something like that. And then they'll go like around and like have a conversation and then they'll build their jokes off of that platform. What do you think about comedians doing things like that?
See, that's a catch-22. You kind of got me between a rock and a hard place because on the one end, I'm not really with a lot of crowd work. I'm with, you know, going up there, having material, and rocking the show. But on the other end, I'm not the one to tell another comedian what they can or can't do, because I've been told some stuff I shouldn't do, and then I do it, and it kills it. Everybody love it. But when I listen to that person and didn't do it, then I see somebody else go up and do it, kill, they love it. Now if I do it, I look like I done, you know, stole that his thing. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know, do your own thing. And another thing with the crowd work thing, I feel like if that's what you got, that's what you got. You got a lot of people with different niches. But if that's what you got, that's what you got. I feel like crowd work is good. It helps. You know, one of the reasons why DL Hewley does crowd work so heavily is because, you know, at one time he would tell his jokes and then he lost his footing. So he did the crowd work so that he could keep the crowd moving. And they're not aware that in the back of his mind, he actually, what they call that when you doing the double thing or whatever, he multitasking. He messing with the crowd, but in his mind, he going through his Rolodex like, man, what was that joke that I can't remember? Trying to remember that joke. And once he get his memory jogged, then he get back into his set. But that was something to keep him going till he got his memory jogged. It was a trick that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So and then you got 85 South, and I've never been to one of their shows, but I heard they're different and how they like to work with the crowd. And I think it's slick because people say, oh, no, I don't like it because I just want to see you do your material, whatever. But I think it's slick because they actually figured out how to take them barbecue conversations to the stage, you know what I'm saying? And make people love it. And that's one of the things we always wonder. We'll say something funny in conversation, and then we wonder how we can translate that conversation to the stage, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I say this and make them relate to it and they weren't there? Whereas they just make them feel like, okay, we all kicking it, we family, we at the barbecue talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do it myself, and I see a lot of people do knock it, but at the same time, if somebody had told them not to do it and they didn't do it, they wouldn't be 85 South right now.
Right. No, real shit. Now you said that you love comedy, but you like the background stuff too, like the writing and, you know, things like that. Like, what did you mean by that?
All right. I love comedy. I can't even say I love comedy. I am comedy. And what I mean by that is, you know, comedy is just my nature. Comedy is my passion. Comedy is that thing that I love so much, I'll do it for free. I'm still going to charge you. But comedy is that thing. I love it so much. I do it for free. It's just because I'm me. Anybody that knows me, anybody that ever, you know, really kicked it with me will tell you I'm always having a laugh and I'm always joking, being funny, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's just who I am. Comedy is who I am. The other stuff is the things that kind of interest me because I actually had to learn it. It wasn't something that developed out of me or was birthed out of me. Like when I first started doing comedy, I remember I went to a convention for my homegirl Hope Flood, and I took a camera because I just wanted to record, you know, some of the classes they was giving. She was like, man, my cameraman backed out. It was me and my other homie, Bam. He came. Me and him had met that year. And he had a camera too. Hey, can I get y'all to help me out with some filming some stuff because my cameraman backed out. And once I started doing it and I started seeing different stuff, I got an interest for it. So it was like, oh, man, it's cool. And I started looking at it, researching it, how much people make, you know, a year for this. It became a career love. You know what I'm saying? So as far as a career, plus it's that guaranteed money. I mean, my man Sean Boy, you know, comedy ain't that guaranteed money all the time. You know, sometimes people want to pay you and what they say, exposure. Exposure can't pay my bills. You know, sometimes people want to play you with the comedy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, trust me, I did it.
One person they don't play with them cameramans. They don't play with them setups. They don't play with the people that they rent them room, that building from. They pay them. They make sure they get paid. They pay that DJ. They pay them. You know what I'm saying? It's that comedian that get that conversation at the end. Hey, let me holler at you real quick.
We got some other couches in the building. Dawn, what's up? Landon, what's up, my guy? Cuzzo in the building. Jerome, Quinn Patterson. Hey, that's my guy right there. Funny ass Quinn Patterson. And then sis just joined in. Miss KT, what up, sis?
Hey, cousin. How are you? What was that? Apple juice?
Who?
I'm talking
Nah,
to
that
LC.
was that was Milo's sweet
That-
tea and lemonade.
He turned up the whole gallon, though.
Man, I'm telling you, this stuff, boy, when you parched, man, this will moisturize your whole mouth right here.
Please. I just saw the gallon like bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm like, okay, is that apple juice?
So the one thing I will say, you gotta know the difference between crowd work and roasting, though, right? Because there is a big
True.
difference. Crowd work is interacting with the crowd, making sure they feel a part of the show. Asking them, hey, worst job or stuff like that. Roasting is just straight talking.
Turn that
about
light back on.
And with DL Hughley, he used to just straight roast, straight pick with motherfuckers. Now he's more, bits and routine now. You know what I'm saying? So when a lot of people were saying, oh, I don't like to be sitting in the front row because they would get picked on and talked about. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, you can come sit in the front row of my shit because, I got jokes. So long as you don't say nothing stupid. And then that's when I'm gonna have to address you. You know what I'm saying? But that's anywhere you go, especially like even in your business of singing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're singing and somebody say something dumb to you while you singing, like, what you doing? You come here to hear the show. And
Real. I'll Cardi B they ass and bust them in the face with the microphone. You got blood clot boy, and I know. He don't know me for real. Why you turn your light off?
Oh no, I didn't turn it off. I turned it down. It was blinking. It was giving me
Wow.
seizures. I was about to
It
have
made, you,
a fit
it
on.
made it dark.
Yeah, I'm here shaking. You know what? But that's beautiful. But check this out though. Do you realize DL Hughley gives homage to himself at every show? He always sets a segment aside so he can roast people. You know what I'm saying? If you ever notice, like somewhere in the middle of his set or at the end, he'll start going back into his crowd work stuff and just like, nigga, what you doing? And start picking on him. That's him paying homage to how he helped him on his own self. You know what I'm saying? And people expect that when they go to a show. They know it's gonna be a certain moment where he do that. And this is the thing that we don't think about as comedians. I did have a person say something to me like, I want to sit up front. I'm like, that's not how we do our show. Every show is not like that. But you do have people that go to certain people's shows like a DL Hughley because that's what they expect. They want to sit up front. They dress up, they do this, that, and other, and sit up front on purpose. I've had people come to my shows and do it. Sit up front on purpose because they wanted to be roasted. That was their way. They thought they was going to be on camera or something, or that was their way to shine for that moment. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So even in those moments, like you said, yeah, you do got to understand the difference between crowd work and roasting. But both of them are still, necessary for, to elevate in that game, because what they really are, they're not comedy. The jokes are, but they're just tools that we use. Just like, learning certain things. There's a chick named Judy Carter who wrote the Comedy Bible. Mm-hmm. And she tells you certain things in the Comedy Bible that might be helpful. Like, for instance, Dave Chappelle, when he first started, he used to always, he would always take a cigarette up there with him. Now, because of that, he smokes. But before, if you watch his older sets, he never smoked that cigarette. Why?
No,
he had 10 minutes.
We were talking about that.
It take 10 minutes for that cigarette to burn out. He knew once it got almost down to the butt, it was time for him to wrap up. That was a trick that he knew to keep his timing. There was another comedian who he would get bullet points and write them down and then paste them to the back of his water. So when he pick it up to take a drink, he'll look at it, take a drink, put it back. He wouldn't have the whole joke written out, but it'd just be a bullet point to keep him on track. You know what I'm saying? When he, lost his footing or something like that. So these are all just tools in our arsenal. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you should just use. Just go out there. I'm just going to roast everybody. You don't want to upset the crowd. You don't want to upset the venue that's facilitating this or the booker or promoter. You want to have a fun time, but you also need these things to keep control of the crowd and the stage.
Well, that's really, those are some really good points, and that you shared, like that almost made me look at you in a different way. So really quick, hit me. You said you are, you learned improv and stuff like that. Hit me with one of your most favorite jokes, or beginners or something like that.
You said hit you with one of my most favorite jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? One of my most favorite jokes is a joke that my mom and dad told. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell this joke real quick. Long story short, so there was a drunk that fell into a bar, and he staggered into the bar. And he walks up. He's like, "Bartender, I want you to give me a drink. I want you to give everybody else a drink. I want you to take a drink." So the bartender give him a drink. Give everybody else here a drink. He take a drink, and they do it again. Bartender, I want you to give me a drink. I want you to give everybody in here a drink. I want you to take a drink. So he do this again a couple times. The bartender think, man, let me go ahead and get my money from this fool before he get too drunk and forget to pay me. So he asked for money. Hey, you ain't thinking about to pay him. I said, give me a drink. Give everybody else here a drink, and you take a drink. I ain't said nothing about paying. So the bartender whipped his ass, throwed him out. About an hour later, drunk Stone back in the bar, and he's like, bartender, I want you to give me a drink. I want you to give everybody else here a drink. But you better not drink it goddamn thing, because you act too stupid when you get drunk. And that was one of the jokes that I heard my mom them tell that kind of started me. I know it's kind of corny or whatever, but as a kid, that was always one of my favorite jokes that my mom and dad told. So it was one of those things that really made me, you know what I'm saying, become that comedian that I am.
Right.
That's because I didn't know it was gonna end like that, but it was like it sounded like a mom and pop joke. You know what I'm saying? Like that was funny.
All right, we gotta put you on. No, you good. My bad. So we got to put you on a hot seat. Every comedian I bring on the show, I always ask your top 5, dead or alive. Your top 5, dead or alive.
Top 5 comedians?
Top 5, your top 5 comedians, dead or alive, in no particular order.
All right. Well, first on my list, I got to give honor, RIP, to Red Fox. Because Red Fox was one of the ones that made me want to be funny. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta, so I always watched him on TBS, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that as on Sanford and Son. When I found out he was actually a stand-up, it took me to another element. Second, I'm gonna have to put one of my living idols up there, Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Third, I'm gonna say Tony Roberts. You know, he's a hidden gem in the game, man. I'm telling you, that's the beast. That's one of the ones. I'm not afraid to follow nobody, but I ain't gonna lie, I'd be kind of shook a little bit. Who I want to say after Tony Roberts? Tony Roberts. Then fourth, I'm gonna get homage to another Ohio, and he from Columbus, Ohio. My man Stephen G, which is just as fiery as Tony Roberts. Mm-hmm. Both of them pretty. Actually, man, just for all intents and purposes, I'm putting it at 4, but he should probably be like 3 right with Tony Roberts for real. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and be selfish. Me, I'm gonna be my number 5. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, with a top 5, man, with people like Richard Pryor, Carol Burnett, which I really respect as a woman and a businesswoman, not just comedian. She was a beast as a businesswoman. Every comedian, especially women, need to check out the story of Carol Burnett. If you don't know, you need to know, because she was dope as hell as far as that business. They played her because she was a woman, but she used that to her benefit. And she tricked them into having the Carol Burnett show. They didn't think she was going to be able to do it because she was a woman. So she was like, go ahead. You know, she negotiated this, and that because they didn't think as a woman she could do it. So they went ahead and gave it to her. And look at her now. You know what I'm saying? She was a beast, I'm telling you. You know, but for me to put a top 5, it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? Because you got all them good people out here, man. That's funny.
It's not that hard, man. Some people got to get left out, man. Your top 5 is your top 5. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your opinion, and there is so many comedians, absolutely. But it's your top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's my opinion, but it's just so many dope comedians for dope reasons. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to do 5. It's like, you know, like 5 is a lot. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I get, you know what I'm saying? I feel what you're saying, because when somebody asks me like your top 5 favorite singers dead or alive, it's like, I need 10. I need 10 at least.
And,
I need 10. 10 at least. 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 10 at least.
And on top of that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And on top of that, I gave you my top 5 as men. You know what I'm saying? And you know, growing up, women were always pivotal in my life. My mom is one of my main, one of the main people, God rest her soul, that was very pivotal in my life. And I got a lot of comedian friends that are pivotal, like my homegirl Hope Flood for one. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of dope ass women comedians out there. Only reason why I mention men is because I'm looking at the men who inspired me to be that next man up there. But it's not like those women go without having inspiration too. So when it comes to that top 5, yeah, it's your opinion and stuff. There's a lot of people that's just as fire as my top 5. You feel me? That's dope.
All right, Carl. What's up, Carla? Thanks for tuning in. She said, "I hate crowd roasting. That's not why they came out. What they came out for. You don't know who is going through what. They may have come out for a pick-me-up, got roasted, and went home feeling worse." No, I understand that.
Can I say something to that though?
Go ahead.
You're right. You don't know what somebody is going through. One, but if you get up there, you come into a comedy show, everybody know what can possibly happen. You're right. That's not what they're there for. Then what are they there for? Because of comedy. But 2, let me say this. I remember there was a show that I had where I roasted this chick. And I mean, I wasn't like devastating on her. You know what I'm saying? I just said some things and she laughed. She came up to me later on that day and she told me, you know what? You was funny as hell. And even the way you said what you said to me, I like that. I like it. Some told me to come to this show because earlier this day, I just decided I was going to kill myself.
I had that happen to me too.
You made me laugh. You know what I'm saying? And you was real respectful. You was real. So it's the way you handle yourself as well. You was real respectful and stuff like that. You was funny. You did put me in my place, but I feel better today. So, sometimes you're right. You never know what a person's going through. So that person not getting roasted or not hearing them jokes that I told or saying what I said may have, if I didn't do it, she might not be here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
but
you never
honestly,
know.
that still honestly could have went another way. She could have been ready to kill herself and you roasted her, and then she could have been like, damn.
It could.
You know what I'm saying? So
have.
I get what Carla's saying as well, but it's just like when you go to a comedy show, like you said, you basically take the chance of being roasted. Like, so, I really don't like it. I don't like when comedians do that. However, you know what I'm saying? If it's not like, I don't like brutalness, like don't like really brutal try to F over. But most times when people get roasted, it be the hecklers or people just yelling out shit that, you know what I'm saying, cutting into the show or whatever like that. And most shows I've been to.
Or them drunk ones that just don't know how to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's necessary. Like you said, and like the other person said, don't make the whole show that, and don't try to be brutal about it, but still be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Still let them know, like, hey, I'm up here. Yeah, I'm up here. Let me do my job, because sometimes people come and they interrupt the show, and those people aren't thinking about the people that, like, you're saying think about the ones that didn't come for that. Well, those people aren't thinking about the ones that came for the comedy. Word. So I gotta let them know you about to be the show now, so the other people can enjoy it.
You're right. No, I get that too.
So what's next for you, man? What you got next? What's going on?
All right, so we got a show tomorrow with a comedian, Dwayne Hicks. Me and my homegirl Angel Hampton and a slew of other comedians will be at the Liberty Funny Bone at 7 p.m. It's actually a free show, so you can log in. It's on my page if you want to go to LJ White on Facebook, or comedian Dwayne Hicks on Facebook. You can log in and it's free tickets, so it's free for everybody to join in. Then I have another show. What's tomorrow? So I have another show Friday in Springfield. That's a private event, and then I have another show that Saturday. I have another show Saturday. It's also a private event, but it's being live streamed as well. And that's the part that I'll be doing. I'll be setting up the cameras, and the different angles and doing the productions part of it where I'll be live streaming. So that's pretty much what I got coming up. And then I got some more shows. We going into November. Got a lot of shows coming up. Got a lot of live stream events that are great. We're actually working on me and a group by the name of MPC Entertainment are working on shows where for those people who can attend or aren't in the area to attend, we do live stream events, and it's like $5 online. It's like $15 to show up actually, so you could click in, watch a good show. We're trying to do it in the vein of like a new digital Def Jam type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like Def Comedy Jam, where you got the in-studio audience, but you also got the audience, you know what I'm saying, at home watching. So it's live and everything. Got singers on there, entertainers. Pretty much that's what I got coming up going on.
That's what's up. Give out your social media so everybody can follow you.
Say what?
Give out your social media so everybody can follow you.
All right, you can follow me on my main page, which is LJ White, or you can look it up under LJ Speaks. That's ELJAI Speaks / Facebook. Any other social media, Facebook as well. You could go to my comedy pages or my meme pages, which are under LJ Unhinged, and that's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. And you could also check me out at ljspeaks.com.
All right, there we go. Hey, LJ, thanks for coming on the show, man. Appreciate you. You ain't got to go nowhere. This is just the end of the interview part. So appreciate you coming in and staying a man in your word. You was talking too much shit. You had to come back you had to actually come on the couch. So
I had
you coming on the couch, man. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. You already know we like to do a recap on what happened to us this weekend or whatnot. I'll go ahead and start us off and try to be quick with it. So Friday, I dropped off we'll start with Thursday. I got a text while I was in class and doing one of the classes from my dude, Chris Kettler, the owner of Crackpots Comedy Club, and he was like, "Hey, you got to be clean this weekend." And I looked at that text like, "Fuck is he talking about?" So I called him and I was like, "Hey, what's up? What you mean by I got to be clean this weekend?" And he was like, "Oh, I got you on the books." I'm like, "Oh, for real?" Like, I was like, I did not know that, because I'm like, I got 2 shows Friday, but I'll definitely come in Saturday. So dropped Lil Mama off, went and got some more donations for the fundraiser that's coming up. Then I had to drive out to Bedford and did a private event. It was a birthday party, but it was also a paint and sip. And the lady was like, try not to be too raunchy. I'm gonna have some church people there. So I was like, all right, I got you. So it was like, church folks or whatever, but it ended up being pretty good. But it was funny and odd at the same time, because anytime you do a private gig, it's always interesting, to say the least. But because everybody was reliving their youth, like they was in 6th grade art, trying to pay attention and really focus on this painting. And when I would ask a question, they would like raise their hand. So of course I was messing with them. I'm like, y'all ain't in school, y'all know that, right? Like y'all can actually talk or say something. So, but it was cool. It ended up being a good event. And then from there, from Bedford, I drove out to Youngstown for John Huff's show. Now that show, it wasn't a whole bunch of people there, but that was a show that I needed. That was one of those shows where you like, man, I needed this, because I walk in and I don't know who he was. He was the older white cat dancing the music or whatever. But the host came back up, and this dude was hilarious. It was the first time I met this dude, JD, the Smile Doctor or something like that, but from Detroit, but he stay in the Youngstown area now. This dude was flat out hilarious. And so he was hosting, and he was just funny as shit. And we started talking and chopping it up while a couple of the other young comics was on, and then I Holler went up, and she always funny. I didn't have her feature for me. So, but having him, JD, in front of me, and having I Holler in front of me, just kind of like get those juices flowing, you know what I'm saying? Because I love funny ass people, especially going in front of me, because I want to laugh and I want somebody to make me work, you know what I'm saying? So I felt as though they was funny, they had me rolling. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to work. So I went up and did my thing, and it was just one of them. It was one of them good shows, well needed shows. Then Saturday, had a softball tournament. We went 0-2, but then I upped the game so I can get my money back. And then I had those 2 shows at Saturday night, and they were both clean because it was a clean comic headlining. So I featured and did I did like $25. I said $25, 25 minutes because it was the same pay each show anyway. So I was like, I ain't even got to do a whole bunch. So I did 25 real quick, got in, got my laughs, got up out. But it was a good time, man. It was definitely a good time. Then yesterday, had another softball game, and this was the last game before the playoffs. And we only had 8 people. We have 4 girls, 4 guys, and it's usually 10 people on the softball.
Right.
We still like run ruled them the first game and run ruled them the second game. Like we was just, hit another home run, and this other dude hit 2 home runs, and it was a good day, man. So picked up Lil Mama. We went to Olive Garden, and I seen actually the head of my department there. So that was cool because I ain't seen her in a minute. And went and did 6 classes today. So my voice is crazy because I had 4 shows, 4 softball games, and then I had 6 classes today. So my voice is like vocal cords on fire right now. So that was my weekend. Miss BBC, you want to go next, or you want our guest to go next?
He can go next.
All right. Real quick, my cousin in the building. Dave, what up, baby? Go ahead, LJ. How was your weekend, brother?
Oh, my weekend was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a holiday weekend. Again, I was doing some help behind the scenes. I was in
Wait. Sorry. Holiday weekend?
Yeah. I mean, people were celebrating Halloween.
Oh, okay, because I was lost. I'm like, holiday weekend. What holiday? All right.
I was like,
holiday,
like what you talking about? Black Friday, bro. No, I'm just playing. Now, everybody was out, doing their little trick or treat thing because it was the last weekend for October. You know what I'm saying? 31st is what, Thursday, something like that. So people was just celebrating and stuff and having Halloween parties. So I was working at a Halloween party for the 26th. Friday, I was in Cincinnati with Team Ovations. I did some behind the scenes camera work for them. They had their Hey Jay and Friends comedy show, which is pretty dope. People need to start checking that out because it's got a real fire lineup. It's like different comedians all the time. They end off with some singers, Diamond and Josie. Fire, I'm telling you. I'm talking about Diamond be killing it. But it's a real dope show, but it's also good for comedians to actually participate in the show because where we do it at is a place called Urban Artifact, and they have a nice studio set up and everything. At the end of the show, they film it so you get a good 4K quality filmed video of a good set from different angles. It's a real good studio production. It looked like something that you'll see on a special. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a comedian, hit up Hayward Thompson or Maria Cavallero for Ovations and see if you can, get on the shows. And if you're not a comedian, come check out the shows. You know what I'm saying? But I was with them doing some behind the scenes, also shooting some pictures this weekend because I do photography. Yeah, I do photography and whatnot. So, I was doing some headshots and stuff for some people, things of that nature. Then we had the Halloween thing going on, some parties. I was DJing that and whatnot. I told y'all I'm the everyman. I do it all. So, you know what I'm saying? But I had a pretty busy weekend too, man. Just bouncing around, doing everything, man. Tired. I was hoping to rest today, but then my man Sean Boyd and old girl BBC snatched me up by my leg and said, "Come do this podcast, man." Get up out my bed to come do this podcast. And then I got another busy week coming up, man. And it's beautiful to be busy.
Blessing, definitely.
Miss BBC, how was your weekend, sis?
Well, my weekend started off pretty strange because on Thursday, I thought the whole day was Wednesday. The whole day. And then on Friday, I woke up thinking it was Thursday. No, seriously, I went the whole day thinking it was Wednesday. And then I spent Thursday morning. And so when I picked up one of my passengers, and she was like, yeah, I got to go to this thing and I'm tired. I got 4 more Fridays to go. I said, but it's Thursday, and she was like, no, it's Friday. And I happened to just look at my phone and I'm like, oh. And she was like, and I was so devastated. And she was like, I know that you're really devastated. She said, because when you said it's Thursday, she was like, you said it with so much conviction and passion. And it was like, because the days have been going so fast and in between, trying to do business and, doing everything else, it shifted me somehow. And I don't know. It's like I lost something. And so on Thursday, I had made a seafood, was it that Wednesday? On Wednesday, which I thought was Tuesday, I made a seafood boil Alfredo with tortellini and everything like that. And it was so funny because my friend why you ain't make a jerk one or like a curry chicken or something? And I'm like, because just because people are, have Caribbean, don't mean that they just cooking like or whatever. But it was so crazy. Everybody wanted some and it was really delicious. And I was making this dress because on Saturday we were driving to Toledo because a lot of the Ethiopian artifacts that had been stolen from the emperor and some of the, royalty in Ethiopia was being returned to them. So the Prince of Ethiopia, which is Haile Selassie's great grandson, actually was in Toledo from Ethiopia. And it was such a blessing due to the fact to be able to, so all the mothers and all the queen mothers and father, some of the fathers and the Rastas and everybody, we all went down there and they wanted everybody to represent the colors. The mothers had to wear white and everything like that. And when we got there, it was so many people. They had the original Bible, the original Quran. They had Rastafari's one of his capes, and they had Queen of Sheba's a portrait that had been painted of her, just and showing so much culture and everything like that. It was very passionate, but it was very aggravating because it was basically like they didn't invite enough people to me to represent the thing. It was mostly like, hey, and I'm gonna say this because, and it's probably politically incorrect, but it was like, hey, my ancestors stole this from you, but we decided to give it back. Sorry, don't say nothing back. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, and then to me, I felt like the prince didn't know his history like he should have. Mm-hmm. So it was like people were getting up, kind of like, oh, okay, when they, saw him stumbling, it was like, you really didn't know about your grandfather. You needed to know about these things. And some of the mothers were standing up, and it was just like, so, me, I'm very verbal when I feel like somebody trying to apologize or, come to me with some fuckery or whatever. So I'm just like, let me walk out, because I'll be in there like, yeah, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's too beautiful to me for you guys to pass it off as like, sorry, you know what I'm saying? Right, it should have been more, it should have been singers and Naya Bingi drums playing and the roar of lions going on, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I expected because this is so massive.
Right.
So we drove all the way to Toledo. I drove there completely sober, you know what I'm saying? No ganja at all. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I got to hit one of these Rastas up. Like, I need something. I can't drive back, you know what I'm saying, without whatever, you know what I'm saying? And in the process, I had got irritated a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with some situations. They said they had Ethiopian food, which I don't eat everybody's cooking, but I'm like, when I looked at the food, I'm like, this is nowhere near Ethiopian food. Like, it was just like, don't try to, don't get me wrong. say Ethiopian inspired, you know what I'm saying? Because the mothers in them, they have to eat. They're elders. They should be eating. They're traveling. We are there for like 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like we need, that energy or whatever. So it was just like little things. So then after that, we get ready to go. I get my, ganja, get everything or whatever. And the coordinator walks up to me and she, because everybody's walking up to me because the way I was dressed and whatever like that. And they're like, she's like, excuse me, you are extremely beautiful. She was like, I couldn't take my eyes off of you the whole night. And people were already coming up to me and saying that because, I have a very powerful essence or whatever. But she was like, can you please tell me what you thought of the show? Of the event. And I was honest. And she was like, thank you so much. She was like, sometimes we don't get the honesty from other people. Right. And I was like, no, I really wanted to be honest. I felt like it was a poly lie or whatever like that. And she was like, I would love to work with you, everything like that. And she's just like giving me like so much energy and everything like that. She was like, I don't know what it is about you, but your presence is powerful. You were very nice to everybody. You were, the way you were interacting with people or whatever like that. And I'm looking like, trust me, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not like the mothers. I am practicing under them. And right. You know what I'm saying? I still have a lot of work to do or whatever. And me and, the queens that sung with me, a couple of the queens that sing with me for the queens. And they came out and it was really whatever, crazy situation. So then on Sunday, I get on the road and, I come back and on Sunday, I get on the road and start, doing my thing, picking up passengers and everything like that. And someone gets in my car and they are devastated. They basically want to not be here anymore. And by the time she got out my car, she was just like, I never looked at life the way that you just broke it down to me and, everything like that. And she was like, I will never say something like this to myself again. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that we all go through stuff, but we tend to focus on the negative more than the positive all the time, the things that we need to be grateful for. I'm like, trust me, in the moments where I am at my worst, I will never let anybody be down. You know what I'm saying? My ministry is to uprise all and show love to all. I said, but what you're worried about, you woke up this morning, you woke up with your kids, where everybody is, whatever like that. But she's like, I never even thought about that. I'm just like so stressed. I'm like, we're all going through something. Just think somebody else is going through worse than you. And it was like, dang, I saved a life today. And I don't even know, what I'm saying? Like my next movement, so it was really a blessed weekend. And I learned a lot and I was really grateful for that.
That's what's up. Sound like a lot of positivity. That's good shit. Are they gonna work with you to like try to make it better and really pay homage to the artifacts?
That's the plan. That's what she said. Actually, I was supposed to link with her today. I'm like, I think they do a lot of these events, but they do it in the eye of the colonizer. They don't do it in the eye of the people. It was a lot of Ethiopian people that what people don't realize is Ethiopia is the only country, I believe, in Africa that was never colonized. So they go by the original calendar, everything. They're 7 years behind. We're actually all 7 years younger. You know what I'm saying? They celebrate in the new year where, in September, or I think it's August or September, like they celebrate the actual new year, everything the same how it originally was. So with everything that was taken from them and everything that tried to destroy us as a people, you know what I'm saying, that it was just amazing to see so many cultures. People came from all over, different states, different countries to be at this event because, the artifacts and the medallions and everything like that, the shield that was given back, it all means something. And I really wish more people would partake into our culture and our history, because it was just amazing. It was very, very, I got some videos I want to share with you later so you can see, like, seeing the queens and seeing people that look like me and be so powerful. And it was just amazing.
Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, you already know we like to do childhood memory. You know, we always like to give you one memory of us, especially getting to our guest pass. One childhood memory. It can be funny or crazy, just something that stuck out to you in your childhood. I am gonna skip mine this week because I've done enough of them. So, LJ, give us a childhood memory, something funny or crazy. Go ahead.
Man, childhood memory. Man, I got a lot of them, man. But
Give us one.
let me see. A good childhood memory, fun, whatever. I remember the one time when my mama actually told me that she was like, what'd she say? I got in trouble and my sister was laughing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, she did it. And she was like, I will beat you with her. My mama actually picked my sister up and beat my ass with my sister, man. Like, and because she thought we was lying, man. Mama, let me tell you something. So my mama old school Geechee runner, right? And she thought we was lying because we had left the house because a witch had chased my sister home in the neighborhood. And I was trying to tell my mom about it. And, you know, when my sister started saying something, I interrupted, and you don't interrupt a black mom. And she's like, shut your ass up. So I'm trying to defend my sister. She's like, shut your ass up before I beat you with her. And I'm like, but mama, man, next thing I know, she picked her up and just starts just busting me in the head with my sister, man. Like, that's not a lie. That really happened.
That's funny.
Oh shit, that's crazy. That's hilarious. All right, Miss BBC, you want to give us a childhood memory this week?
Real quick. My childhood memory is when I first realized not only boys are sensitive down there to a graze, but girls are too if you're licked in a so one time my neighbor downstairs, she had a bike, and at this time I have a bike. I think my bike had got stolen, but her dad or her brother had a bike. But remember when the boy bikes was made with the bar? So I didn't know how to, I'm little. I was very little girl. And I'm like, I didn't know, never had rode a bike like that or whatever like that. But of course, because I'm so small, I have to lean it over, climb on it, you know what I'm saying? And I can't sit on the seat. Somehow I had on my jellies. Remember I told you my story about the jellies. And my foot slipped off the pedal and plow. Years
And why did they make that bar for bikes anyway?
For boys, right?
Because the girl bikes did like this, and the boy. Why when we had nuts?
Right. That didn't make any sense.
Why wasn't it the reverse?
It was it should have been reversed. But at my point, like that was just crucial. When I tell you, having the mother that I had and the people around that I kept. Oh my God, to go to the bathroom, everything. I remember just having to hold it and pee in my hand because it was so painful. But they were like, you doing something, you being fast. I'm like, I don't even know what y'all talking about. Like, it was crazy. I can see
this. I could see her falling off and just hitting that bone right there. Like,
trust me. Very, very, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was a very crazy moment. That's my childhood memory.
That's crazy. All right, let's get into one of our favorite subjects, flowers while they still here. Instead of being conditioned like so many of us are to get people flowers while they dead and gone, we like to give people flowers while they still here so they can smell those roses. My flowers this week, I'm gonna have to give my flowers this. Ooh, that shit. My bad, y'all. I just seen a name. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks for tuning in. It threw me off because it was a J and then a B, and
I know.
So, yeah, that threw me off. So I'm gonna give my flowers to a couple of the kids at the school I was at today. I want to give them their flowers because, I always ask, the kids if they remember last year or whatever, somebody coming out and having a conversation with them. And I asked them, do they remember? Was it me that gave them that conversation? And a couple of the kids was like, yeah, they remember me or whatever. And so the one kid, he came up to me after the presentation and was like, dude, he was like, your presentations are so good. And he was like, I just appreciate you actually coming back to talk to us again. And that, that kind of made me feel good just to, appreciating, me and my presentation or whatever. And then I had another girl just go out of her way to shake my hand and was like, I really appreciated your presentation today. Like, we learned a lot. So I appreciate you for that. So I just want to get the kids that, kind of remember me, and when I be walking in their hallways, they'd be like, what's up, Mr. Sean? And, I like them shoes, because I'm at it. So, anytime, you get students walking down the hallway and want to dap you up and high five you and be like, oh man, them shoes is dope, blah, blah,
I know,
blah.
that's so sweet.
Just, getting recognized at different schools that I done been at already, but then they still remember me and then see me in the hallway. It's always a good thing. So I just want to get them kids their flowers, man. They definitely deserve their flowers.
Flowers well deserved.
Yeah. Miss BBC, you want to go ahead and piggyback off of that? You want to give who you want to give your flowers to today?
I want to give my flowers to parents that inspire their children. Our guest said that his parents inspired him. I met some other people. I was last night I got a link from one of my bros where he had his kids singing, and he's about to release his first single, and his kids was singing. He was so inspired and loved, and you know what I'm saying? LeBron, with Bronny, like he really, really, man, he's doing him so dirty on the grades. I mean, on the hazing or whatever like that. So parents that inspire their children to be something great and they make a career out of it or whatever like that, my flowers go to them.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Flowers well deserved. Real quick, LJ, before you get your flowers, Carla chimed in. She said, my mom has 6 kids. Whip them all until you get the right one.
Man, I've been there before, man. Like, I've been that one. Like, I don't know which one of y'all did it. I'm gonna beat all y'all ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was like that too.
Who you want to give your flowers to today, LJ?
Man, I got a list of people I want to give my flowers to. First of all, I want to give my flowers to Sean Boyd and Miss BBC for doing y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? I know in some cases, me and a certain person might have started off on the wrong foot, but hey, I still want to give people their flowers. They still doing their thing. They still, doing what they do in life and inspiring people. And I love that. Y'all have been inspiring people. I love the fact that y'all got this show. You got 2 different dynamics. You're from the comedy world, and I'm guessing she's from the music world. You know what I'm saying? So you got 2 different dynamics working together. And that's real dope, man, because a lot of people don't see how those things work together for real. You know what I'm saying? How comedy and music really go hand in hand, even though it's different genres of entertainment. But you got 2 people with different perspectives, one with a comedic perspective, one with a more musical, inspirational perspective coming together. That's dope, man. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing and keep doing this together. Plus, I like that brother-sister dynamic. So you get like both aspects, you feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of people sit there and say we don't hear enough from the sisters, or we don't hear enough from the brothers, or we don't get the different perspectives of each. So y'all bring that too. So keep doing that. I want to give flowers to like she said, all the parents, everybody that's still alive and doing their thing, man. Everybody need to know that what you're doing, you're not doing it by mistake, man. If you got a thought in your mind and you following your dream and stuff like that, you're on the right path. Keep it going. Doesn't mean that you neglect everything else in life. It just means that you still got to pursue what's right for you, because you don't want to be that person that's always wondering, what if I did it? What if I tried it? Where could I have been?
Right.
So for everybody that's got a dream and they pushing it and they going for it, even if you fail, at least you knew you was a failure. I'm just saying, at the end of the day. And I want to give it up for all the haters in the universe. all the haters in the world. Keep doing your job, motivating us to say fuck you and keep pushing. Because some of us that wouldn't be who we are if y'all didn't struggle so much to knock us off our throne. So keep on doing what you do and sprinkling hate dust all over us, because all that does is motivate and push us to elevate and rise and keep on going. So hate on haters. Keep on hating. I love y'all.
It just reminded me of the haters ball. Hate from the Chappelle show when he had the haters ball.
You know, my favorite part of the haters ball is when Dave Chappelle said, Buck Nasty, I hope everything bad happens to you and only you, and good stuff happen to people because only things bad is happening to you in life.
Oh man. All right, y'all. I think that's a perfect time to take our one and only sponsor break. Hey, please don't go nowhere. You know we coming right back, and we got some hot topics for your ass today. We go talk partners. Partners. The rest of the show is about partners, so stay tuned, y'all. More Just Therapy, more LJ White. You already know who I am. More Miss BBC, and I'm taking y'all to break, baby.
Primal Screen in Kent, Ohio. For all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Quality work, on time, fair prices. For more information, call 330-677-1766. Again, 330-677-1766. Or check us out online, primalscreenprinting.com. If you mention a podcast, you get 5% off. Peace.
Custom Design Aquariums, where we bring your aquatic dreams to life. With your help, using your imagination, together, we will turn your home or office into a peaceful getaway. For a free consultation, call 330-475-5181 or contact us by email at customdesignaqua@gmail.com. Once again, that is customdesignaqua@gmail.com. Mention this podcast and get 5% off.
Yo, you already know what it is. It's another beautiful Monday, and I got the best pizza place for you. Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. They got 3 locations, 1909 Bailey Road, Cuyahoga Falls. Their phone number is 330-928-2222. Their second location is in downtown Akron, across the street from Rubber Duck Stadium. That address is 325 South Main Street, Akron. Phone number is 330-849-5707. And their third location is at 3031 Graham Road, Stowe, Ohio. Their phone number is 330-673-9410. The best part about the downtown Akron location has to be the beer wall. I like to call it the Dave & Buster's of beer, because you go in there, you put money on the card, and you walk up to the 36 glorious taps of wine, ales, IPAs, whatever you can think of is on that wall. You put the card next to the wall and you pour as much beer or wine as your heart desires. I mean, it's just so good. It's so good when it hits your lips. Also, what I love about Twisted Tomato Pizzeria is that they cater to your taste buds. And a lot of people always ask me, SB, what do you mean they cater to your taste buds? Exactly what the hell I said. Anytime you order something specialty or regular, it's always done right, always delicious, and it's always made on time. Make sure you check them out. Ask for the owner, Brad Cover, when you call and mention Just Therapy, the podcast, and you get a 10% discount. Yes, money off of delicious food. You can never beat that. So if you're ever in the area of Cuyahoga Falls, Akron, or Stowe, make sure you check out Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because it's great pizza. It's not because they are the official sponsor of Just Therapy, the podcast. I'm saying it because it's delicious food. So make sure you check them out. Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. If it's pizza, It's possible. Twisted Tomato Pizzeria. Yeah. And I got a couple shameless plugs before we get back in the groove. That one's gone. All right, so you already know, coming up real soon, 2 weeks from today, the 13th annual suicide prevention fundraiser at the Funny Stop Comedy Club, November 11th. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7. 50% of the proceeds go to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, and the other 50% goes to the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation. Make sure you come check us out. It's me and a slew of funny ass friends of mine, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to be raffling off gift cards, gift certificates, and baskets all night. So make sure you come and win a great prize. And you don't want to miss out on this because it's always great. You never want to miss out on the suicide prevention fundraiser. This is the 13th year in a row that we doing this. So make sure you come check it out. $15 donation at the door. That is not a ticket price. That is a donation to a great cause. So come check us out. It is sponsored by, of course, Just Therapy, the podcast. But make sure you come check it out. I got a funny lineup. So come check us out. It's gonna be a good time. We'll have a moment of silence for all the names out there. We'll talk about being a survivor, and we'll get some laughs in. So make sure you come check us out. 13th annual suicide prevention fundraiser. Don't miss out. Also that week, that Friday, I am up in Cleveland. Friday, November 15th, showtime at 8 p.m. There is no cover charge on that at Now That's Funny. Hosted by Tank with a C, Lex Vegas on the show, Jen on the show, Kevin Ford, Sister Lou, and myself. That's going to be a hot lineup. Make sure you come check it out. The address is 3614 East 65th, Cleveland, Ohio, 44105. Yeah, so make sure you come check it out. It's going to be a good time, y'all. Other than that, come check us out. It's always a great time with great laughs and always fun to be had. So make sure you come check out some of them shows I got coming up. I got some other stuff coming up I ain't got no flyers for. I actually got a flyer for, but it's in December, so we'll put it up later. And then I got some other end of November shows that we'll put up soon as well, since it's still October. So, all right, and we are back. Little Mama is knocked out right now, like out cold. Look,
Been a long day.
Now she closed her mouth.
Drain me.
She was running around on fire earlier. Why she tired?
She always, she be full of energy. Then next thing you know, she crashed. She be tired in the mug. All right, let's get back into it. So our first topic up on deck is partners. Talk about it, Miss BBC. Partners.
So this topic hits me very hard because I pay attention to a lot of things. Most of my sisters and everybody, they're married or are friends. I watch people, and it's very. I find that people and their partners, lovers, whatever you want to call it. I like saying lovers because it sounds so mature. Sometimes they don't really pay attention to what's going on. And, I always go back to this about women's intuition. Women feel like, oh, my intuition, and I had a dream that you did, and I had a dream that, or, I be feeling like you doing this or whatever like that. And it's like, well, why did you have that in the beginning? However, when the dude said, if you have women's intuition, why can't you tell when something going on with your man or your partner, right? So in that aspect, it's like sometimes I see from men's point of view and women's point of view, where when men are going through something, sometimes they don't communicate in ways we are. Like women, we're very verbal. We can be very emotional. We can say, you know what I'm saying? These things are going on. You'll hear a woman tell her dude her whole day at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Lakeisha came down and she gonna say, did you make them copies or whatever like that? Like she my manager, like go through a whole vibe, right? And that you telling them everything or whatever like that. Sometimes men can't complain like that about what they're going through or what they, having going on at work or whatever like that. Or sometimes something bothering them or, it's like, let's say you're thinking about your parent that passed away or your homeboy, you know what I'm saying? And something come up and you're just like in a vibe. Sometimes I see women, I'm gonna start with women because women are starting to feel like I be going against women. I just call out the fuckery, but whatever. I see women act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He walking around, he miserable, whatever like that. Men get depressed. Men deal with anxiety. Men deal with a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not easy to vocalize it as women, but I feel like sometimes, like, pay attention to your partner. You know what I'm saying? Something's wrong. And guess what? It's not always about you. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Something like, so like, you can't always just listen for the words. You have to listen because our bodies speak. You know what I'm saying? We have silent language. Sex is a language, different things. Emotions have language or whatever like that. So I say that. But on the other hand, I see a lot of men that don't know how to deal with emotions, that don't know how to deal with certain things. If you see your girl going through something, whether it's menstruating or, dealing with loss or, something like that, I also say, pay attention to, you know what I'm saying, your lover, your partner, you know what I'm saying? She's going through something, she's hurting or whatever like that. Don't cut nobody off. And we've talked about this even with kids. If she's crying and she's saying something's hurting her or she's feeling away or whatever like that, don't start that crying shit, or don't belittle the situation or make somebody feel like you're being overly sensitive or whatever like that as well, because you don't know what a person's triggers are, and especially if you don't know their past, you don't know what they grew up in, you know what I'm saying? Like certain different things. People have lost compassion, you know what I'm saying, for one another. And even in relationships, that's where you most should find it. But sometimes we treat our partners worse than we would treat our homeboy or somebody on the street, because you get too comfortable or whatever. I know a lot of men that go through a lot of different things, and you know what I'm saying, sometimes they can't get right, but they can't express themselves, you know what I'm saying, in certain ways, or don't even know how to express the fact that I am going through something or whatever. And even if you can't express what you're going through, say something like, I'm going through something, I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? But a person should know, like, he's going through something ain't right. I know my baby, I know him, something, is bothering him. And I've seen women go like, you cheating on me? What, your girlfriend stop calling you, or, and make it about something that maybe it's not. And this is what caused a lot of conflict between relationships. If you travel a lot, let's say you're a truck driver and you got to be on the road for 3 weeks and you only on off the road for 1. You know what I'm saying? Find ways to communicate and to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to let's talk sexually, right? A lot of people and men don't like to feel like they sex game ain't good, right? But it's like, I get it. You don't want to think that you know what I'm saying, slanging the weakness or whatever like that, but pay attention to your partner, because that's a conversation. Sex is a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And if your partner is not responding to you in a way, like, you're just trying to get it off and it feels good to you, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention to your partner. If she's moving in a certain way and she lifting her hips and trying to get you to, follow suit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like how you would do in a career, I see a lot of women that will go to work and they will listen to their boss. They will listen to their doctors or whatever like that, but they don't even listen to their man. Like, babe, I'm saying, can, whatever, like, it's like, who did that for you? You had some hoe do that for you and now you want me to do it for you. It's like, no, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever. Not even just in sexually, in other things. But women, I find women are selfish lovers. It's like, it takes us longer sometimes to get there before men. So try to you know what I'm saying, work out some details and situations. A lot of men are visual people, you know what I'm saying, do some little dances or whatever like that. Don't be so wrapped up in yourself like, I don't want you looking. I know a lot of plus size girls that don't like to ride because they feel like they're too big or, you know, stuff like that. Remember we was talking about riding the face? Anyway, a lot of plus size girls be like, oh, my chin and all of this and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you have to find ways, or my knees or my whatever. Find ways that make you comfortable to do those certain things, because if your man like for you to ride and you're telling him you don't want to ride, but that turns him on and that gets him there, then you know what I'm saying, you're leaving him out and you're getting pleasured. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take that ride. Like,
it depends on how big they are, because my Obamacare might have to kick in. I ain't paid my deductible yet, so
let me tell you, a different strength comes out sexually. Trust me. If you can handle it, you can handle it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
so I think it's
your wife. You know how the wife feel to you,
right? So I think it's a problem on both sides, like you said, right? Because some people will neglect to have that conversation or neglect to see a point from a different side or neglect to check on their people, right? My whole thing, you got to check on your people, especially when they're going through something. Like, as you know, you want a partner that actually will listen to you instead of cutting you off, or be able to have a heated conversation without blowing it up. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't gonna agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have a healthy debate and then be able to move on. You know what I'm saying? And not take it like
absolutely
it's an attack on your character. It's just a heated conversation. Like, you be able to get through that together and move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I see exactly what you're saying.
What are your thoughts?
It goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely want to have that conversation with people. So LJ, what you think?
Absolutely.
About what she said?
Yeah.
I mean, well, piggybacking on both of y'all, really, like you said, sometimes I had to have them conversations. But here's one big key that I've always had a problem with when it came to stuff like that. Don't invalidate my feelings because you may be part of the problem and you don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to deal with them being the problem, so they gaslight and turn things on. When if I'm with you and I'm communicating with you that I'm having an issue with you, then don't see yourself as my enemy or fight. See it as obviously, because I could have just left. That could have been my option. I just said, fuck it, and I don't want to deal with it. And we broke up, and then you wondering why. But I'm trying to explain to you that it's something that happened that you did that made me feel a certain type of way. And I think we need to work through that. But now it's like, well, but what you did, well, okay, but we talking about what you did. Don't gaslight me and then go into what I did.
Right.
Let's discuss what you did first, because I'm the one brought this. If you had a problem with what I did, you should have brought that to me. But let me discuss what I'm discussing with you first. Then we can get into that. If you have a problem with that, we'll talk about it. But in a lot of relationships, you got people that will gaslight or try to invalidate your feelings. It's not that they don't care. They just want to invalidate your
accountability.
Feelings. Yeah, because they don't want to be held accountable for what they did to cause you to have that emotional strain or trauma or whatever. But at the same time, we dealing with, with men and everything and women. The problem with men, we haven't been taught to communicate emotions and stuff like that. We've always been taught to be the strong, dependable, the provider and stuff like that. But being a man that deals with mental illness, I actually have a appointment with my therapist November 8th. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot happen. Problem is, I've never had nobody I could talk to or trust to talk to, because either they're not listening, they don't think that I as a man should have those issues. I should be strong enough to work through them on my own, or they just figure, you're soft. You being a pussy.
Or they make it about them.
Or they make it about them. Whereas, obviously I need somebody to talk to. We as men, we face so much. The sister was saying something earlier that people don't understand hits us as Black people. You was talking about, when you went to your event and the Ethiopian people and how they colonized and took over. Well, we as Black people have dealt with trauma time after time after time after time in our lives. And the only reason why we teach each other to not deal with is because they taught us that. That's not something that just is ingrained in us. That's something that the colonizer or slave masters taught us, that we should be stronger than that. Deal with it. Don't go to nobody. Don't say anything because you'll be looked at this, that, and other. And we've adopted that mentality and mindset to the point that it's been ingrained in our DNA. We don't even know why we act like that as Black people. But we have dealt with traumas all our life. And it's a time where we need to start coming to the understanding that I need to communicate this trauma so that we could better assess it and deal with it and come to some kind of medium, because this is why we killing each other. When you see somebody
and not to cut you, but let me pause you right there. I want to pause you because that is a strong. We had a conversation. I mean, we had a show out that, which was one of my topics, as far as how we treat each other and how it's like basically being. And I'm gonna go into this real quick. We had oppressors, and we're the, we're the oppressed, but we as oppressed oppress others. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we end up killing each other and everything like that. And with men, you on the quote of men not being able to express themselves in a certain way, that's a very strong concept. And I find that when men are trying to express with women, that what they're going through, like you said, okay, I need someone to talk to. They don't listen, for one, or they make it about them, and or they gather information. So then when it comes out, they'll use it against you. And I see a lot of women that do this. Like that's one thing that disgusts me about people. You don't know anybody's triggers. And Black men, like you were saying, Black people have went through stuff. Being a double minority, triple minority, as a woman and being Black, that is a problem. But Black men, and we talked about this, I think, on the last show. Black men have been through a lot that they don't even talk about. They have never shared before. They have massive triggers. There are more Black men that have been molested in the world that have never talked about it, have never expressed it. So sometimes even not having an argument, like you were saying, like if I'm telling you what's wrong with you, you might not even be into it with her. It may not be nothing about her, that whatever, she could have triggered something that happened with you or whatever like that she don't even know about. But because you can't express it, or you're trying to express it, now she don't made it about her, instead of holding the situation of you're going through something, or if she did do something, not holding herself accountable for doing. People really do not know how to hold themselves accountable for fucking over somebody's triggers or emotions, or accepting the fact that this person is just feeling away and you've made that happen. Apologize, listen, or just explain to them that's not my thing. People don't do that anymore. And in relationships, I find that it is less done. Anything like, boy, get over it, shut up, or whatever like that. It's such a brush off. And sometimes women will gather on the woman's side instead of overstanding and listening to the man's side. And this is why I become a advocate for men. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I just had to get into that.
No, you good. Carla chimed in and she said, and trauma in so many different ways. Concrete Rose, what's up, sis? She in the building. Carla also said, as much as we women rant to our kings every day, we also need to allow them to rant when they need to. Absolutely.
Exactly. back to my point, you know what I'm saying, and nothing against anybody, because we all need to do this, and it's not just women, it's the men do it to the men too, and the men do it to the women. Sometimes we wind up re-victimizing people by re-traumatizing them. And as Black men, here's the thing, as Black men, we know, because even when we hurt each other or kill each other, we know not to mess with that white man. We know what's gonna happen to us. So we take it to that. We take it to each other. To me, that's an indicator and signifies that we do understand that we are traumatized. We just don't understand how to deal with our trauma with one another. We know what not to do. We just don't know how to communicate what we need to do. So and that's one thing. So now that we know and understand what we should not do, now we need to understand what we need to do with each other and how we need to talk to each other and communicate with each other and not be so aggressive amongst one another. A lot of people don't understand that sometimes you do things to the people who are in closest proximity to you. That doesn't necessarily mean that this person lives in my neighborhood. That could mean that this person is closest in proximity to my culture. So I feel like this person,
absolutely,
this person can understand the ass whooping I'm about to give them versus somebody else might not be able to take it. We don't realize that to think like that, for me to even diagnose it and analyze it like that, goes to show that not only have I been so traumatized as a man to say that, because you'd be like, why would you think that a person could understand your ass whooping? Sometimes that's us. That's how we mentally break down our situation so I could deal with it better. And we need to get into it. So once you realize you that traumatized, now you got to start asking yourself the real questions. What is it that's making me this way? What do I need to do about this?
right.
How can I better serve our culture so that we don't do this? Because we can see that everybody else can come together, but we can't. Why am I so traumatized that I can't deal with this other brother or the sister?
Even right in your own relationship, though.
Yeah. Even in your
the abuse
relationship, your
comes,
family.
like in your relationship with your lover, your children, but like in your own relationship, people take their traumas and that energy out on their relationship as well. You can, like, let's say you work for for a colonizer, right? And every day he just giving you fuckery and bullshit or whatever like that. I don't know if you've seen the thing where I think it was Angela Davis, and she was talking to the interviewer, and she was saying, yes, he was like, I can't lie to you. She was like, you could lie to me. I would prefer you lie to me, because you go all day and you be in this white man face. And you lie to him, and you smile, and you giggle, and you huck, and you bug, but then you come home, and then you score into me, and you know what I'm saying? Give me all your honest who you are. You give me everything that he deserved, right? So that whole aspect is like, yeah, because that's the closest person to you. You know what I'm saying? And you give her the truth, and
think about how traumatized she was as a Black woman to come to that realization that she would rather be lied to because this person is being treated like they're the king and the master and the boss than for her to really deal with the reality of the pain that you're about to put her through because you were put through pain, rather than her try to comfort that pain. She was tired. She wanted to comfort you, but every day she's feeling that pain and oppression of your pain because you won't be truthful with your oppressor. Tell that dude what's going on. Stop doing it to me, and we're not understanding because we're not communicating properly with each other. That was something that she put out to the world. I was an interview and asking us, but that was something that we need to do personally with one another and say, look, you know what? Let's have these. And this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. Your Just Therapy podcast is a good start because we need to start having these honest breakdown conversations with ourselves, who we are, our community, and our culture, period. Like, we need to come to understanding, why is it that when we see a Black man start a business, the first thing we want is a discount. We don't feel like it's worth that price or validated. But soon as we see this white man put his name on it and it sound fancy like Balenciaga or Cardan or something like that, we don't even question the price. We just drop it. Matter of fact, we might even tip you an extra $500 because it's an Italian designer. But this man designed something just as dope, if not doper, and you don't even want to buy into him. Why do we do that? Why, when we see certain things, we're triggered to act adversely rather than really pour into our community and build? Then wonder why we don't have nothing for ourselves. That person don't care about what we want, need, or been through. We do, but then we treat ours like we don't care either. So why do we do that? We need to have these discussions. Why do we do that?
No, that's true. What you got, bro?
No, absolutely right. I'm agreeing with y'all. Just listening and taking it all in. I mean, no, you're right. And then, but there's another coin to that side though, especially when you just spoke about black businesses or businesses. Period. A lot of times, a lot of people, support the black business, but then you go into that black business and they treat you like shit. So then
that's true. Or they open late.
You know what I'm saying? So
Why? Why? Why is it the white dollar get treated with respect and the black dollar get treated like, man, nigga, just go ahead, hurry up and order and get the fuck on out of here? I mean, why do we do that?
Yeah, for real.
Why do we do that? Yeah.
Or let's take it to this, because I'm still staying in the relationship aspect of the conversation. Why, when let's say, okay, you guys are comedians and I'm a singer, right? I'm a reggae artist. So I find that somebody like, our spouses or people that we date or, whatever like that, don't recognize our career as what it is. You know what I'm saying? I find that sometimes when, okay, like, when I'm dating, when the one guy was like, oh, like, what I'm saying, but I want you. And I'm looking like I'm getting ready for a show. And when I'm getting ready for a show, I'm packing up, I'm making sure my merchandise is good. I'm in rehearsal. I got to be in the studio or whatever like that. And instead of coming like, okay, well, let me come to the studio with you, or like, do you need help packing up your stuff or whatever like that? He felt more rejected. Instead of saying, hey, okay, we're gonna make shea butter. Like, do you need any help or whatever like that? He never. So I say to him, like, if you really wanted to be in my presence, you know what I'm saying, you will be like, okay, what can I do, to support the vibe? But you're talking about like, come lay down with me and come, be over here and do this. Like, I know you can make a little time for me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I find that even in our own situationships or relationships or marriages, you know what I'm saying, sometimes our people don't support, the vibes either. I mean, like, buy a ticket to my damn show. Come, like, don't just want to, because I'm with you. Like, of course, you could be my plus one, but like, even if share a flyer, even if you like, hey, I'm not a reggae person, you know what I'm saying, which is so crazy because reggae is the greatest, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you, like, if you don't want to come to my show, share the flyer. I didn't. But it's like, come show up, like, you know what I'm saying? Or share the flyer. Just, show some type of support. In your own household, sometimes your own person don't even share your flyers, don't even share your events, don't even, you know what I'm saying? Share, like, to me, that is important. Celebrate me. And not like, I'm not a celebrity or anything like that, but uprise the energy, because this shit is hard. I am a business woman. I do so much people don't even know. And in my aspects of everything that I do, when I'm moving, sometimes I'm by myself. I'm being security. I'm being payroll. I'm being human resources. I'm being the tailor. I'm being a cashier. I'm the singer. I'm the manager. I'm all those things. You know what I'm saying? Show up for me, and I find in relationships that does not happen. And for females and males, it's like, oh, you got to show tomorrow. All right. Call me when you get, back or whatever. Some shit like, come, you know what I'm saying? Hit me off early in the morning with some shit like that. And you think I want to like come suck dick after I just fucking sang all night? Like what? What's going on?
Hold on.
Support me.
Let me read Carla's comment real quick. She say, leave work at work. Tell your spouse about your day, express your emotions, but don't take it out on your spouse. Concrete chimed in on this as well. She said, not understanding your own trauma makes it difficult for others to understand too. Ooh, that's powerful right there. And then Carla also chimed in.
That's
like
bars right there.
And Carla also chimed back in. She said, you can't walk into a Nike store and try to negotiate business-wise, keeping the aspect of a relationship. Don't come into a kingdom of gold asking what your pennies can do. Ooh.
I like that.
Word. Yes, sis. Yes, that's
I like
powerful.
what both of them said, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Is it sometimes we have to have, there's a thing called plausible deniability, and that works in like the corporate world, the military, things about that. That's where you can remove yourself from something so you don't have to be accountable for it. You have plausible deniability, and that's what I feel like we as Black people have created for ourselves. We created a system of plausible deniability where we feel like we don't have to hold ourselves accountable simply because I'm not the one that did that to you, or I'm not the one that treated you this way. But at the same time, I'm supposed to be here for you. So it's not about whether I treated you this way or whatever. It's about, if you're there, be in that position to stand firm with me, to be able to help me through, help me understand, be willing to learn with me. And that's one of the things we need to do. We need to start teaching ourselves and coming to understanding of who we are, because sometimes our traumas are us too. You're still that same person, no matter how many people you got in your mind. You're still you. It's still your body shared by whoever. But at the same time, you got to have this thing where you really come to an understanding of yourself. And if you don't fully understand yourself, let that be known. But that person also that's there, that person needs to also understand that we're both in a learning process. I'm learning them, they're learning me, we're learning each other, and we're learning how to progress. I have a thing with that she talked about earlier, and I'm gonna use this as an example, for instance. So, my wife was doing that before. Again, as a man, I had to learn how to be with my wife. When she would come to me and tell me about her day, I, as a man, got my tools and wanted to go fix her life for her. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what she was looking for. She was just looking for somebody to vent to. You know what I'm saying? But we as men, we want to provide, we want to protect, we want to try to make it right. We want to fix it. I had to learn that my position was there to be a listening ear for her. But at the same time, I need to teach her that when you bring these traumas to me, they traumatize me as well. So now I'm sharing your trauma because the two have become one flesh. So I'm sharing that trauma with you now. We both are feeling. I had to teach her how to deal with those traumas at work. One instance, I had to teach her, through working with her, how to cuss these people out with policy. Don't just go in there like, motherfucker, I ain't doing shit, because you ain't gonna do shit because you ain't gonna be there no more. But one time they tried to get me to do a job that I didn't want to do. And the job was one of those jobs where it's kind of like a demotion. It was like, when we need these people, we're going to use you in the place of them. And you're making $25 an hour, but that job only pays $13. So when you're doing that job, you're not going to make your 25, you're going to make 13. They came to me, and the lady was known for firing people. And she came to me and she was like, LJ, you know how to reship? I was a forklift operator. I was like, nah, I don't. She was like, you gonna learn today? I said, no, I'm not. I bet I don't. She's like, oh, so are you denying work? That was one of the things. You can deny a job. If you knew how to do the job or was trained to do it, you couldn't tell them no. You know what I'm saying? Because they could write you up for that or whatever. I said, no, I'm not denying work. But what I am doing is I'm saying that is an unsafe action. Why is it an unsafe action? Because I've never done that job before, and I've never been trained to do that job before. And what you can't make me do is train or be it on a job that I don't want to do. So with that being said, I don't think I'll be doing that today. She couldn't do nothing but walk away, and she was so pissed off. She was so mad at me because they called her Walk 'em Out Waiver. That was her name, because she used to fire people all the time. That was her thing. If you said the wrong thing to her, you was fired or whatever. But everybody be like, man, you talk to her any kind of way you want to. No, I did not talk to her any kind of way I wanted to. I just broke down policy and procedure. One, unsafe action. You cannot do anything unsafe. Period. That's the main priority, to do things safely, because jobs, not only are you going to hurt yourself, but a job will face like lawsuits and stuff like that. So you do anything unsafe, they could terminate you for it. So why would I accept something unsafe? So if I tell you that, I can't do that. That's in your policy. I don't have to do anything that I deem unsafe. Two, you can't force me to bid on a job or train on a job that I don't normally do. That's outside of my job title. And that was not my job title.
Right.
Reshipping was my job title. So what I did was basically tell her, you got me fucked up. But I did it politically. I did it by policy. I was like, babe, you need to start learning how to do that. You know, just tell them, you know, when they get on your nerves, don't snap on them. But just, and when she started doing that, she just tell me her day, and it was totally different from these motherfuckers. It was like, man, listen what I told this motherfucker today. They thought they had me fucked up, and I let them know I played their ass. And the whole conversation became different because and she taught me some stuff too. I just use that one because I don't want to go into everything because we'll be on here forever. But she taught me some things too. I just want to use that as a teachable moment, that we learn something from each other. We learn different ways to do stuff, so that when we do come back with those conversations, it's not a me dealing with your trauma and making your trauma my own. It's us talking about a possible traumatic experience that you gained a victory with, and we both can celebrate it together. And we need to learn how to start having those kind of communications. We need to start accepting those learning experiences. Accept what you're learning from this man, accept what you learn from that woman, but also accept that man as who he is and that woman as well. Stop trying to make your woman tougher than what she is. Stop not letting your man be vulnerable, because that's what we want. We choose a woman that we can be vulnerable with, somebody I can tell my deepest, darkest secret. I could trust them. You mentioned the other thing where you tell them something and they'll weaponize it against you and stuff like that. No, but we need to stop doing that. We need to start loving each other, being there for each other, inspiring each other, and allowing each other, man and woman, to be vulnerable with that person. You've been strong all day in your job, in society or whatever. This is not where you need to be strong at. Right here, you need to be able to strip everything down and just love one another. This is where you need to come and just fall in the person's arms and be comforted and be like, you know what, baby, let's talk about it, because it's going to be all right.
No, absolutely. Carl chimed in. She said, I don't understand why people go places where machines are used, pumping out how much an hour, pay that amount with no questions, let one person do that by hand. People want to barter. Okay. And she also said, know your rights. Okay. All right. No, that was a great conversation. Hold on. If home ain't home, it ain't a home. Hey, I hear that. If a home ain't home, it ain't a home. I like that. More bars. I like that. That's what's up. So I think we're gonna have the table partners part 2. That was the next topic until next week. Because this one, I mean, it went good because like everybody, had great insight and great information to give, man. Because like, you got to learn your partner. You got to be able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know when the battle is, for you to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it's all about communication. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if I piss you off, let me know. Like, let me know what I did so we can address it and move on. Don't harbor that shit and take it with you.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't
and build animosity.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do nothing for nobody to prolong the shit that we need to fix. You know what I'm saying?
And if you let me know that I'm pissed off, I need to accept that I pissed you off.
Yeah.
And sit back and listen to you and let you explain what I did to piss you off. Because whether I think I was wrong or right or whatever, you still took it a certain way. And or as you say, as we said, I said it to you one way, but you translated it a
different way. Absolutely. And I didn't mean it that way, but let me know that's how you took it so we can address it instead of, harbor that shit. Like, let's get through it and get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be communicating together and moving on. And if we can't communicate together, you can't tell me if I pissed you off or I said something that you didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we even going to keep moving forward or keep growing when you don't want to tell me if I made you feel some type of way at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me
Yeah.
know.
What I noticed
And it's
people
so
do a
crazy
lot
because
is
one of the
this.
queens said to me the other day,
What I
Go ahead.
noticed, what we do a lot is this, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have the intentions to piss you off, or because I don't feel like what I said was offensive, then you shouldn't be offended. But how can I tell you how to be pissed, what to be pissed about, and how to be offended?
I can't.
You need
don't
to
tell me how
communicate
to
that to me.
feel.
I can't. I can't tell you how to feel. But
You
you
need
gotta
to
let me know
communicate
how you
that to me,
feel
and
if
I
I
need
made
to
you feel
explain.
that way.
You know, let me
That
explain my
drives me
side.
crazy.
Let me explain your side. Maybe I didn't mean to offend you, but I can't say that you wasn't offended. And maybe you shouldn't have got offended. But I still cannot say you shouldn't have got offended. You have to come to that. You had to come to that in communication and say, you know what?
Yeah, but
I
people
was
do
offended,
that
but I
though. Like,
apologize for taking offense to it because you didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. You know, that's how we work through shit. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
no, that's so true. I can't stand that. A queen said to me the other day, she was like, I've seen you 3 times express to someone exactly how they made you feel. And she is like, and I admire that about you, and I'm jealous because I can't do that. I don't like when people, period, hold on to something, or I don't like when people in relationships sit there. If he's asking you or she's asking you what's wrong, and you like nothing, and you're doing that all day, to me, that is a form of abuse. You know, like that is a form of abuse. You're actually like harboring like a way or whatever, instead of saying, I don't hold it. To me, that's stress. It hurts my heart. I build animosity. I don't want to do that. I need to tell you exactly how you made me feel, what you said or whatever like that at the moment that it happened, because I love you. Whether you're a friend, whether you are a lover, whether you are a situationship, you know what I'm saying? Anything, whether you my bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't like that. Don't do that to me. I don't like what you said. Because let me say what I have to say. Oh, I ain't mean it, or I was just joking or whatever. Okay, well, it offended me. Please don't do that again, or whatever like that. Like, to me, it's like, boom, we got it out the way. We never have to talk about it again. Once I feel like we communicated on it, I don't forget about it. Even if you bring it up again later, I'm gonna be like, when that happened, what happened? But if I sit in it, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem for me. I don't want to be all tucked up and going days without talking to somebody. Like, life is short. I don't want to do that. I want to make love and be friendly and do things. You know what I'm saying? So I find it that people, you know what I'm saying? If you can't address that or hold yourself accountable, I don't want to ever deal with you again. But if we can communicate and get it over with, and boom, that's what it is. And let's move forward. I love you. No animosity at all. And that's just that.
Am I the only person that's having this ladybug infestation? It's like everybody, I'm looking around, ladybugs all over the place. What's going on with
pretty
you?
much. I have fruit flies.
Oh, you got, those are blessings. Those are blessings. It says that when ladybugs are around you, it's spiritual.
It says when ladybugs are around you, what? Because you cut out for a second.
She said it's spiritual.
It's spiritual. It's spiritual. It's supposed to be blessings, and or someone from one of your, like, from the other side is surrounding you, contacting you, or protecting you in a way.
Nice. That's what's up.
What's up?
All right. So, man, this was a great episode, man. Like, we might have to continue this next week. Shit. Because, like, I mean, we got so much other stuff to address with partners. Because, like, I was going to talk about what's considered cheating. So, and we already know that's going to be a long.
Why we can't go on? We all went over before.
Yeah, I know, but little mama sleep and she's sitting on my lap, and I need to put her down. I'm about to get up and put her down. So
okay, let's go.
I don't have anything booked for next Monday at the moment. So if you want me to re-venture into this, I'm down with it. Ladybugs and butterflies are my favorite insects. You can keep the rest. You know what? I would like to say that too, but guess what? My wife's favorite insects are spiders, and I'm scared of them things. Like, she loves them. Man, we got spiders around our house. She grows them like pets. Like, dude, if you don't, man, I'm telling you, she want a spider. It's a man, what's that thing called? It's called a Called a Goliath, and that mother like this big. It's a tarantula. And I'm like, nah, we can't have
that's
that.
too much.
With 2-inch fangs, I'm like, nah, we can't have that in the house.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
You doing too much.
Yeah, this been an excellent
Yeah,
episode.
that's something.
So LJ, give out your social medias real quick one more time, and we'll get to the close and we'll get up out of here.
All right, we got my page LJ White, so you type in LJ White and I should come up. But we also have all my pages also under LJ Unhinged, where my you see comedy skits, funny memes, me just doing some random bullshit, hence the unhinged portion. So that's where you can find me, LJ White or LJ Unhinged. Check them out.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, and you already know what time it is. It is time for the close, something you can ponder on until until the next time you see us live on Just Therapy the podcast on Facebook or YouTube, and next day on Spotify. You're closed this evening, and then LJ, you can break it down, and if BBC you want to chime in on that one too, y'all break it down.
Can I have one of y'all go first so I can understand what this close is about?
You just break it down in your own words. It's real simple.
Break what down? Like just break down the show?
I'm about to give it to you.
Okay.
No.
All right, here's your close, something you can ponder on. So listen, I took this picture.
Ponder on
one of the schools I was at today. I had to, because this one I hit. So listen, here we go. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. And I was like, oh, I like that. I'm like, I need that one. Again, I'm gonna say it one more time, and then you can break it down in your own words. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Go and break that down for us, and we'll get up out of here.
All right, let me break it down. Matter of fact, I got a good breakdown for that one, because I just had a dude that just told me something recently. He was like, man, I see you got a beef with somebody. I said, beef? I don't have a beef with them. He's like, well, I can't tell by the way, you said what you said to this person. I said, I don't have the beef with them. They had a beef with me. I just addressed it when they brought it to me. But before, when they called my name, I addressed the beef. But beforehand, when they was talking all that stuff, I had nothing else to say, because it's not my beef, it's theirs. So with that being said, sometimes people may have a problem with you and you don't even know that it's even a problem. And sometimes people might have some issues, but if the shoe don't fit, you ain't got to explain it. Another thing about this, what he was saying about that, is somebody came to me and said something about your reputation precedes you. And reputation is basically others' opinions and thoughts of who you are. And like I told them, I don't have the time or the resources, you know what I'm saying, to go around and try to explain myself to everybody. So if you have a thought or opinion on me and it's negative towards who I am, then that is your thought and your opinion. Obviously you don't know who I am, and I'm not here to play damage control and fix who I am in your mind, because I'm too busy being.
Okay, but we need you to break down that clause, though. We need you to break down that clause real quick. I love what you're saying. I don't mean to cut you off, but I need you to break down that clause.
I kind of thought that's what I was doing. I mean, you don't have to. Okay, let me go ahead and really quick. So he said you don't have to be invited to every argument that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, right?
There you go.
Okay. What I would again, a person mentioned to me about my reputation. They were saying something because somebody else that gave them a negative connotation. So like I told them, I know other people may feel like they don't like this about me or that about me. I'm not the type of person that's going to go into that argument and play damage control to try to fix your position on who I am. Sometimes you don't need to address everything somebody has to say. Sometimes just let it be known, let it be said. If they say something, your best way of defending yourself in that argument is living your life to the fullest. and being who you are, because
Right.
people who need to see you be who you are the ones who will see you be who you are. The other ones who just speculate, they're always going to speculate no matter what you say. So don't have time to always defend yourself. Don't always jump into something. And that's what an argument is. You defending yourself. Don't always feel like you need to defend yourself. Just live your life, be who you are. And the ones who need to see you, gonna see you.
Absolutely. Carla broke it down too. She said everything ain't worth a response. And she also said it's wasted energy at times. Why waste your energy on something you can't do anything about? I like that.
Exactly.
All right, let's get up out of here. LJ, thanks again for coming to the couch. Sis, what you got to say?
If no one has told you today, I love you. I believe in you. I want you to win.
Hey, and you already know what I'm going to say. One thing you can never get back is time. And I want to thank you for spending your time on the couch with us. LJ, thanks again, sis. Love you. We out, y'all. See you next week. God willing.
All right. See y'all next week.
MICAH
Peace out.
Beats activated.
All right. Go put my baby to bed.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go.